Hey. Hi, guys. All right. This is going to be an urgent collective message. I only do these when there is a sense of urgency or intensity or pressure that is popping up around me. And then I go for it. So these don't, I don't know, they don't come out that often, maybe once a week or so. We've got a Page of Swords. We have a Two of Cups. We have the Six of Cups. And we have the Two of Swords. All right, so this is going to be a love message for sure. It feels, with the angel wings coming in, it feels like this is a message from a Two of Cups to someone. And I mean, this could be like more than ever, I want to come back, or more than ever, I want to return. With that Page of Swords, this is somebody who's spying. I'm almost wondering if there's a moment where possibly a divine feminine who's connected to her Two of Cups, her soulmate energy, is looking, we'll say him up, but please bear in mind, I do not read for genders. She may suddenly feel this urge without knowing why. You see the moon is luminous and massive behind her. So it's like there's something hidden from me, but I feel like I must suddenly look into him. I want to find out what is happening. For some reason, I feel compelled. I feel like I've got to find something out, and I've got to look into him for just a moment. This could be checking somebody's social media. This feels like a feminine who suddenly has to peek, and she's not finding anything. There's no reason. There's nothing that shows up for her, even though she suddenly wants to check up on somebody that she feels very connected to. And this could be just, she's energetically saying, I'm thinking of you right now. I don't know why. Is there a message for me? This could all be through the energetic realm. It may not be that she's actually looking on social media. In fact, this could be her saying, I will not look on social media. But there is this flicker of energy that is either coming through her, and it makes her think of them. And she may be like in the realm of the 5D. She could be sending a thought wave out to them to say, I'm not sure why I'm suddenly feeling like I need to touch base with you. Are you coming back toward me? Is it that you're trying to send me a message? Why do I suddenly feel like I'm meeting you somewhere in the ether? Somewhere up on a mountain is where I meet you, and I'm here to ask, did you have a message for me? It feels like she's picking up on his sorrow. We have a Five of Cups, and we have the Emperor. Holy smokes. So this is an urgent message. This is something that I'm going to say is an unexpected, sorry, my screen just did a really weird thing there. Also, talk about a weird message coming in. A whole nother dialogue box just popped up on my screen as I am recording this for you. So we'll just take that weird flicker. You saw me freeze and look like, what is going on? I don't know if the card bumped something or what, but I'm glad we're doing this story today. With the Ace of Cups, he's sending out a message of not only, I am in tremendous sorrow right now. I'm sitting right outside, basically the gates of your heart, or I'm sitting right outside, not outside your home necessarily, but I'm using this more as like metaphorically speaking, like he is missing her tremendously. And he's like, I'm right outside of your world. In the 3D world, he may be having a breakdown right now. He may be actually sitting someplace crying. He may be envisioning what his life could have been with her. And it is like there is a sudden surge of him being honest with himself and stepping up into the energy of full-blown Emperor, which is, this is what I need. This is where I need to be. I love this person. It's like he's recommitting himself to the fact that he is kind of feels in love with her, but she is the one he wants to be with. There is something very, it's like nothing else matters other than the truth right now. It's, I'm hearing the sound of like a big, huge, I know this is so weird because I don't even know that I've ever heard this except like in movies, but you know, those big, huge shipping containers as they get pulled off of the cargo ships, and it's like the big cranes carry them and then they set down and bonk. It's that sound that I'm hearing in my head right now. Like something has been unpacked, unloaded, and it's like, okay, the cargo is here. And in this case, the cargo is how he feels about her, how he feels about this whole situation. There's no denying it. There's no hiding from it. This is how it is. With that Nine of Wands is It doesn't even matter anymore if I'm not 100% healed. This is from his side. This is the Emperor's side. I love her. And it almost maybe even feels good to be able to acknowledge that, even in the midst of him having like a meltdown. There is so much longing for her today. And even in the midst of saying, this is this huge unhealed wound, it's almost a relief to finally like unpack that cargo. Okay, we got go time for him. We have the Fool. This is him, going right over that emotional, like, we'll say cliff, and just like free diving into the water of emotion and saying, that's it. Like, this is how I feel. This is how I feel about her. There, I acknowledge it. It's miserable. It's freaking miserable without her. I don't know why there was ever any energy of holding back or keeping that in the shadows or failing to acknowledge that, but we have him fully acknowledging it now. And it's bittersweet, because it's like, this is one of the happiest, and saddest moments for him in a while. When we get real with ourselves, it's sometimes such a relief to unburden ourselves and acknowledge, this is actually how I feel, and I've been hiding it all this time. There's it was a book first, then a film called Room with a View. Julian Sands and Helena Bonham Carter were in it. And there's a scene in it where, she's having like a meltdown and admitting that, she's like, well, of course I'm in love with him. What did you all think? She's been fighting it and pretending she was going to, well, in the film, or book, she was going to marry Cecil, and not the man that she was in love with. And then it's like, it's not possible anymore for her to pretend that she can marry the wrong person. And it's just like, she's having her meltdown moment. And that comes to mind right now. Like, of course I love her. What did anybody think? Of course I'm in love with her. She's my Two of Cups. It is happy. It is sad. It is a meltdown. It is a moment of sheer clarity for him. And then, so what am I going to do about it? Because I just jumped into the emotions. I acknowledged the truth of this. This is how it is. I feel her energy around me. She's the person that I most want. And there it is. So now there's no running. Now there's no denying that. Now there's no hiding from it. Knight of Pentacles upright. Everything was moving pretty swiftly just a moment ago. And now we have him churning over this slowly in his mind and maybe seeing, once you acknowledge what's true, what you cannot hide in plain sight any longer, once you've unpacked the cargo ship, that cargo's got to go somewhere. I mean, you could choose to put it right back on the cargo ship and sail it, away again. But I think that this has arrived at its destination. Like, his knowledge about how he feels about her has been fully unpacked. Now he's going to have to deal with it. What am I going to do with this? I jumped into the emotions. Now I know why I've been freaking having a meltdown. It's because I love her. She is attuned to him right now like crazy. She felt the energy from him. She felt the sorrow. She felt the longing. She felt all of that and reacted to it. What does that mean for her? Can we go back to her for just a moment? 6 of Wands in the reverse. I think, like I said, if she tries to like spy or tap in at all, she's like blocked from doing so. That's initially because all she's getting is, he seems to be having a low moment. He's not sending a dialogue to her like, I love you, I miss you, I want you. He's saying it to himself. I love her, I miss her, I want her. What am I going to do about this? He's not projecting the message outward. He's holding it internally, but she's just very attuned to his energy and feels the magnitude. Like I said, the cargo ship being unloaded, the cargo of his, everything he packed up and stored up and tried not to feel. She's aware that he's the one having a meltdown, but he's not actually sending the thoughts to her. It's him dealing with the reality himself, which I think is kind of great. This is a different look at how somebody is dealing with something. So no wonder she can't tap into him. He didn't make it visible to her. She just happens to be very attuned to his overall energy. She still gets some kind of a vibe, I actually think, and this is going to be a weird blend of mixed emotions for her. If she suddenly thinks of him, feels like she's trying to say, why am I thinking of you? Do I need to check in on you? am I spying on him a little bit, either on social media or just mentally, but I'm not getting anything. I don't see him posting anything, or I don't hear any response back from him. But weirdly, I get this flood of emotions where I feel like he's having a really crap day or crap moment. He may be having a really awful day, which is why I think of him. But then bizarrely, she's also got the flood of the emotions of like, I don't know why, but somehow instead of feeling like, oh God, I'm so worried about him, should I reach out? Should I help him? I'm flooded with a sense of peace and almost like a lift, an energy of lift. And I think it's because she's simply tapping into everything we just saw on his side. He too has like this mixture of, it's bittersweet. I know I love her. I finally have just jumped into those emotions and I'm fully like embracing it and I'm figuring out what to do about it. So it's so crazy that she is like running parallel to his emotions like crazy, even though she's just tapping into like these waves of emotion coming off of him from wherever he is. And this says he could be a great distance away from her. I don't know, if there's, it's almost like she can feel him thinking about her as well. That's maybe what she's picking up on, is she feels his thoughts. But again, he's not projecting them to her. He's not reaching out saying, please contact me. And he's not physically nor energetically trying to get her to reach out to him. He's just going through his own thoughts. And she somehow is like tuned into his radio frequency. Five of Wands. She is so attuned to it that she even feels the Five of Wands. He's fighting with himself or figuring out or analyzing things that he needs to analyze. Boy, is she running parallel, right? She is like, she may as well be a transistor radio crossing signals, so she's hearing what he's hearing. High Priestess, she can't help it. We've got the quartz crystal with her inside of it. And we have he could be a Libra, even though typically, I would read this as not Libra at all. I'm just saying that because the Libra scales, but normally this would be a Virgo, Pisces, or a Cancer. We don't have a whole lot of major arcana here. On his side, we have the Sun, we have the Fool, so we've got Leo and Aries, and Aries again with that Emperor, but that's about it. Boy, she can't help but pick up frequencies. She's vibing as a quartz crystal. And she is attuned to him. And maybe that's because she is a Two of Cups with him. Again, she's kind of spying a little bit even though she couldn't help it, she couldn't help but pick up on this vibe. But let me ask a more important question. Universe, is she like supposed to be picking up on this? Or is this one of those things where it's like, hey, the signal is not for you to like hear all this information because this is about him dealing with stuff. We have her as a Queen of Pentacles. The universe says, you just stay nice and stable. The universe says to her, her only task right now is to stay super grounded. Super grounded because she is think of like a lightning rod. Right now, he's the lightning and she is the rod. If he's going to wind up reaching out to her, she is the one who cannot be rattled nor be a moving, streak either. If he's going to be taking action at some point, he needs a place to know like where to connect, where to ground, where to send his thoughts, his dialogue, whatever action he's going to take. We've already seen him as the Fool card once. We see him now coming around that mountain. The best thing she could do is to simply not go, nuts about like, okay, what else is going on around me? What else am I picking up from him? It says no. If there's a channel of energy already open between them, she just needs to plant her feet. And she may even like need to literally like plant herself on the earth, like take off shoes, stand on the grass, really like meditate the image of like, I am stable. I am a place of like steadfast, like a tree with roots. She may need to imagine herself being a true tree with roots that's got, unfurling branches, and, trees are home to many, many creatures, birds and squirrels and all kinds of creatures. And it's like, if somebody wants to come home to me, this is the place that is a welcoming and stable location. So if he's looking for something grounding, that's where I'm at. If he has something to say to me, he comes to me. I'm the tree. The tree doesn't go flying around the universe. Lightning moves, trees don't. So he has to come toward me. That seems to be the better way for her to think about it, is what this says. So if she's working, keep working on the stuff that she's working on. She may be wearing green or be drawn to the color green today. That may be that's heart chakra. So it's like encouraging opening up of heart chakra, making, and think of green growing grass and green leaves on trees. All those things are examples of like new life, and, trees are, providing us with oxygen and exchanging gases for us, and, providing us with shade. And there's a lot to be said for the image of her as a tree, the image of her as green, the image of her heart chakra opening up, but it's all to be stable. She's not supposed to be clamoring to send thoughts out to him. She just needs to be stable, because it says that will be possibly the most encouraging energy. If he's going to be suddenly taking action, he's going to be the one that's like all chaotic. So the complementary energy to chaos would be harmony, right? If we look at let's go back to this image of the scales. In the Egyptian concept of the justice card, oftentimes, well, not oftentimes, but on some decks that I have, there is the Egyptian concept of Ma'at and Isfet, which was the belief that, in the universe, we have to have chaos and we also have to have harmony. And those two opposite but opposing forces are necessary. And I'm going to say that's the best way I could describe this right now. I hope that makes some sense. I hope that imagery clicks, or even that connection to some, like ancient way to view energy of the universe makes sense in this. To me, it makes perfect sense. But again, I'm the storyteller, so I can see what's going on in my head. But I got to find the right words to describe it. Okay, final message. Is there a message for him, or should I just walk away from this and leave this story here? Ace of Swords in the reverse, Justice in the reverse. In this case, it says for him, finally things are being set right. For on his side, this like acknowledging something that was never cut. He never actually severed the connection to her, and him acknowledging it is him setting it right. Again, we've got the Libra energy there. What does that mean? Temperance, and we bring in Sag energy. The Temperance is, you notice we're pouring one thing into another. I think this entire storyline is about the energy flow between two people, and it's finally coming back into balance. I definitely believe he will be reaching out to her. I don't know how swiftly, but we are in the midst of him actually balancing energy now. That was a pretty amazing message, and I actually love this one. I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I will later on this evening, I'll be doing zodiacs. We'll probably do 4 or 5 of them. That'll include Libra, Leo, Virgo, probably some Taurus, and either Capricorn or Aquarius. But I'll see you guys later on this evening around 7-ish, probably Pacific Standard Time. All right, you guys, lots of love. Thanks for giving this a thumbs up and subscribing.